The Trump administration has launched another immigration enforcement operation, this time in Charlotte, North Carolina, a blue city with one of the fastest growing immigrant populations in the country. The operation, called Charlotte's Web by the Department of Homeland Security, started Saturday. Federal agents from the CBP, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, have been seen making arrests, questioning gardeners, patrolling a Home Depot parking lot, and smashing windows. Trump administration officials tell our immigration reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez that New Orleans is the next Border Patrol operation planned for this month.
Hundreds of immigration agents descended on Charlotte, North Carolina this weekend, pulling people from shopping centers and moving in on this landscaping crew putting up Christmas lights. It's all part of the government's latest immigration enforcement action dubbed Operation Charlotte's Web. Willie Isatuno recorded this video outside a shopping center near his home. Soon after, Customs and Border Protection detained him.
I said, hey, American citizen, American citizen. I was on the ground, put back, put in the car, take it to me.
He showed us where he says broken glass cut his arm and told us this was the second time that same day agents approached him.
Why? Just because I'm Latino. The white people, hey, ask for my papers. No, it's specific Latinos.
In a statement, Customs and Border Protection said Isatuno was acting increasingly erratic and accused him of intentionally trying to distract officers from doing their jobs. Police data shows violent crime in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area is down 20% compared to last year.
We're dealing with the mess now. We will have to deal with the mess when they leave. We're dealing with the mess every day.
Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden says a lack of communication from CBP is complicating local law enforcement operations.
We don't have any idea who they have apprehended.
How common is it to collaborate on the federal, state, and local level?
Well, we do it well if you want to do it. We all say that we want the same thing, but are we working towards it?
Sheriff McFadden also told us that his office has not been contacted as far as helping out with any immigration enforcement, nor have they been told how long agents will be here in the city or county for that matter. We reached out to CBP for additional context. They did not respond to that question.
Skylar Henry in Charlotte tonight. Thanks.
Hello, True Verdict family. Welcome back to another wonderful investigation. I appreciate every single one of you tuning in today. Special thanks to the creator who stitches videos help shine light to this story. We see you, we honor your work, and we give credit to your contribution in bringing truth to the front line.
Charlotte, North Carolina has become the newest target of major ICE raids as federal agents launch what they're calling Operation Charlotte's Web. While ICE continues to wreak havoc in Chicago with Operation Midway Blitz, the agency has already set its sights on its next target for its militarized immigration operations, Charlotte, North Carolina, with DHS calling the new effort Charlotte's Web. In a press release, DHS continues to paint immigrants as villains, claiming that there have been too many victims of criminal illegal aliens, and asserting that 1,400 detainers across North Carolina have not been honored, which they say led to authorities releasing criminal illegal aliens into North Carolina's neighborhoods. Just over the weekend, DHS says it detained over 130 people. The sweep has already driven many residents indoors and forced businesses to close out of fear. Charlotte residents are starting to stand up for their immigrant communities. Demonstrators have gathered across the city to protest the latest wave of ICE raids, and local advocacy groups are adopting tactics used by communities in Los Angeles and Chicago to protect those being targeted. These include blowing warning whistles when ICE is in the neighborhood and documenting the agency's activities in real time. Local nonprofit La Siembra North Carolina also maintains an ICE tracker map where community members can report ICE's movements. If the ICE raids in Los Angeles and Chicago have taught us anything, it's that now more than ever we must know our rights, protect one another, organize our communities, and stay informed about what's happening in Charlotte and across the country.
Homeland Security officials say about 100 people were arrested on Saturday in Charlotte by Border Patrol and ICE. That city's Democratic mayor says this is causing unnecessary uncertainty and fear.
This cell phone video captured the moment U.S. Border Patrol smashed Willie Isatuno's car window because he wouldn't open his door. Aceituno is a Honduran-born American citizen and was injured during his arrest. This is the second time in 10 minutes I was stopped, he says. He showed them identification and they left.
Brandy, they're in our yard.
Just blocks away, a resident spotted agents moving in on her landscaping crew as they were putting up Christmas lights. No arrests were made. Commander Gregory Bovino is leading the crackdown after spearheading Border Patrol efforts in Chicago and Los Angeles. In a social media post, he said many of those arrested had criminal and immigration histories. In total nationwide, the Department of Homeland Security says more than 500,000 people have been arrested and deported during these operations. The federal agency says its intent is to ensure Americans are safe and remove threats. Today was the second day of protests over the immigration crackdown in Charlotte.
It's terrifying to pretty much know that at any moment a federal agent can just come out and abuse you just because of the way you look.
Charlotte is now the 5th U.S. city to see a Border Patrol presence. Next, the agency says it will move 200 agents to New Orleans.
Today, we are driven into a troubled chapter unfolding in Charlotte, North Carolina, an event locals are calling Charlotte Web. A wave of ICE operation has swept through the city, disturbing daily life, shutting down businesses, and keep students out of class. The ripple effect has been deep, emotional, and alarming. Let's break down what really happened.
Meanwhile, the Department of Homeland Security has launched Operation Charlotte's Web in Charlotte, North Carolina, claiming that the sanctuary policies in Charlotte, as well as the catch and release procedure of some of the local law enforcement, was too much to ignore. However, News Nation pointed out yesterday, according to their internal sources, that there's a little bit more to this. In fact, 161,000 reasons more.
Why Charlotte? Well, DHS says it's because the city operates as a sanctuary jurisdiction and criminal illegal immigrants are being released back to the streets instead of being turned over to ICE. Now, we can tell you that there are more than 161,000 illegal immigrants living in the area that have a final order of removal. This means that they violated their immigration terms. They didn't qualify for asylum. A judge ordered them removed, but they have not left. Now, of those 161,000 individuals, 6,300 are convicted criminals. Now, the deployment of federal resources, though, coming with mixed reaction from local leaders after these videos circulated over the weekend. Republican lawmakers say the operation is critical, while Democrat Governor Josh Stein says the tactics the federal officers are using are going too far.
This didn't stop Democrat Charlotte Councilman-elect J.D. Mazuera from appearing on CNN to call this particular act a terrible, terrible situation.
If it really was about public safety, then why out of the 81 folks that were arrested yesterday, only 7 were announced as actual convicted criminals? And we saw this happen in Chicago, where just 62 of them were convicted criminals. And we've seen that less than 5% of them actually had convictions, right? And so, and another stat that's very interesting is that 72% of ICE detainees do not have a criminal record. If anything, their only civil offense is being here undocumented.
Federal officers were also assaulted during the Charlotte's Web operation, including one by a transgender individual.
So what we had here today was assault on a federal officer. This individual assaulted federal officers at a gas station about a mile away and then engaged officers in a high-speed pursuit, failed to yield to our lights and siren. She traveled down this cul-de-sac here, came to a stop, and was arrested.
Okay, so as we speak, you know already that DHS launched its new immigration deployment. This time, it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. In the last 2 days, Border Patrol has arrested at least 130 people just in Charlotte. Now, why Charlotte? Now, why is this the new target? It kind of seems random. It's not at all. It's all part of the same playbook, the same formula. Charlotte is, of course, a Democratic, a blue city. It actually, remember, in 2012, that is where the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, takes place in Charlotte, where Barack Obama runs once again for re-election in 2012. Charlotte has a huge black and brown population. at least 150,000 people that live in that city alone are foreign born. And so that's the new target. DHS is calling it Operation Charlotte's Web. Now, I just wanted to say that the images that we're once again seeing, the ones that are surfacing, that is part of the distraction. That is not the whole story. What the cell phones are capturing, the tension, the protests, that is extremely important. But beneath that, the real Trump immigration machine is the one that is happening quietly, effectively, and efficiently around those areas that we're all sort of paying attention to. And in a place like North Carolina, I mention all of this because in a place like North Carolina, these immigration arrests and this immigration enforcement isn't new. It's in fact been happening since Donald Trump took office in January. The real story is that since January, immigration arrests in North Carolina have actually increased by 162%. They have more than doubled since 2024 at this point. And at the heart of those arrests, the majority of those arrests are actually taking place in a way that is not really discussed or reported on, which is through these 287G partnerships, these 287G agreements, which are these partnerships between local law enforcement and ICE agents, right? The Trump immigration machine isn't everything that we're seeing. It's not these big ICE raids. It's not the flashiness that we're seeing. A lot of what is happening are through these partnerships that are happening in a quieter way between, once again, local law enforcement and ICE agents. And North Carolina happens to have one of the highest rates and the highest number of partnerships between these local entities and ICE in the country. I believe it's the third state with the largest percentage of 287G partnerships. And so I simply mention this to keep into consideration that the real story is never the one that they want us to see. And in fact, zip codes across this country, neighborhood, counties, the places that you least expect it are already seeing the disruption of this Trump ICE and immigration machine in very quiet ways. And that is typically always worth paying attention to.
Border Patrol agents made more than 130 arrests in Charlotte this weekend, and the sweeps are having ripple effects on the city's economy. Several immigrant-owned businesses have closed, like this Mexican restaurant in Northeast Charlotte and Manolo's Bakery on the east side.
Everybody's closed, nobody's working, everybody has called out for it, even the whole week. Everybody has the fear of, what if I'm actually working and they come and take us out? It is going to hurt us a lot as the city of Charlotte, the economy.
Homeland Security says everyone who was arrested this weekend was here illegally. Out of those more than 130 people, at least 8 had prior criminal records. A DHS spokesperson didn't answer my question of what the actual number was.
In the heart of Charlotte, a city known for its culture, diversity, and vibrant community, Federal ICE Operation Eat Without Warning. What followed was fear. Fear that spread faster than traffic alerts and neighborhood messages. Parents kept children from school. Teachers reported empty classrooms, some with half of the students missing. Family worried that simply stepping out could lead to detainment and separation. This atmosphere of uncertainty created an emotion paralyzed across several neighborhoods. Local businesses were not spared either. Restaurants, shops, and construction sites closed their doors, not because of the weather, not because of financial trouble, but because workers were too afraid to show up. Many of them contribute to Charlotte's economy. Their sudden absence was felt immediately. Across the city, video surfaced, people recording convoy, unmarked vehicles, trailing cars. This clip creates some dramatic and some heartbreaking, spread across social media, creating a digital web of tension and awareness. Community organizations rushed to response. Hotlines were activated. Volunteers distributed safe guides in English and Spanish. Churches opened their door for emergency shelter and legal guidance. Leaders pleaded for calm and urged residents to know their rights, protect their family, and stay alert. But beyond this panic, there is a deep conversation. what happened to a city when enforcement goes so far that families skip school, businesses froze, and entire community hold its breath. It raises questions about policy, humanity, and the real cost of aggressive operation. Charlotte wasn't in chaos because of crime. It was in chaos because of fear. The fear that undermines education, the economy, and the fabric of community trust. Before we end this documentary, let's speak directly to you, my True Verdict family. Stories like Charlotte Webb are not just headlines. They are lived experience. They are fear parents carry every morning. They are struggling of workers who simply want to feed their family. They are the challenges faced by community trying to survive in a system that often overlook their humanity. This event in Charlotte reminds us how fragile normal life can be when enforcement action are deployed without transparency or regard of community well-being. And more important, it shows us why storytelling matters, because silence protects no one, but truth protects everyone. If this documentary opened your eyes, touched your heart, or made you think differently, I'm asking you to help us get this message out. Hit the like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, subscribe to True Verdict if you haven't already, and click the notification bell. Your engagement helps this channel continue to expose the issue affecting real people, real community, and real life. It allows us to keep digging, keep questioning, and keep holding power accountable. Thanks for spending time with me today. Stay safe, stay aware, and keep seeking the truth. This is True Verdict, signing out onto the next documentary. Thanks.